Have you ever thought about how a river gets its start? Not from some melting glacier, but from a wedding? It sounds wild, I know. But today, we're diving into a fascinating legend from Tamil folklore that tells the origin story of the Vaigai River, which is basically the heart and soul of the city of Madurai.
So yeah, that's the big question, isn't it? How on earth can a massive flowing river come from a party? It sounds like a riddle, but that's the incredible story we're about to unpack. How one divine wedding feast led to an act of creation on a truly cosmic scale.
Okay, so let's set the scene. Our story kicks off at what has to be the wedding of the millennium. The goddess Meenakshi is marrying the god Sundareswarar, who you probably know as Lord Shiva. And the preparations? They were absolutely epic. We're talking a feast fit for the gods.
So picture this. A massive feast has been cooked up, enough to feed literally thousands of guests. But then the groom, Lord Shiva, shows up, and his entourage is, well, surprisingly tiny. He just brought 5 of his celestial attendants, his ganas. That's it.
You can just imagine the bride, Meenakshi, looking at these mountains of food and then at this tiny group of guests. She starts to worry, right? She turns to Shiva, saying something like, "We've got all this incredible food, it's all just going to go to waste."
But Shiva, he's never one to panic. He's got this little smile, and instead of getting worried, he proposes a challenge. It seems like a simple, perfect solution, but, this is mythology. It's about to spiral into a whole other kind of problem.
Shiva just calmly tells Meenakshi, "Hey, don't worry about it. All we have to do is satisfy the hunger of just one of my guys." He points to a Gana named Kundodhara. Seemed easy enough, right? A great way to avoid wasting all that food.
And so, Kundodhara sits down to eat, and let me tell you, he didn't just nibble. He started to devour everything. Dish after dish, platter after platter, all this food just starts disappearing. The man has an absolutely supernatural appetite.
And when I say everything, I mean 100% of it, every last bite. The food that had been prepared for thousands and thousands of guests, gone, wiped out by one guy.
Now, you'd think after eating a feast that size, he'd be full, right? Maybe leaning back in his chair, totally stuffed. But here's the crazy part. Even after eating all of that, Kundodhara was still hungry. The problem wasn't solved at all. It had just gotten weirder.
So, with all the food gone and his stomach still rumbling, a brand new crisis pops up. And this one was way more urgent. An incredible, unquenchable thirst.
So everyone's scrambling, bringing in water, jugs, pots, whatever they can find, but it was like pouring water into a black hole. Nothing they gave him was enough to even touch the sides of this powerful thirst that came after that gigantic meal.
This is where things get really serious. The legend says his thirst was so immense that all the wells, all the lakes, even the rivers started running dry just trying to satisfy him, and still he was thirsty. The world itself was starting to turn into a desert because of this one guy's thirst.
Okay, so we're facing a cosmic-level drought here. It's pretty clear at this point that a normal solution isn't going to cut it. It was going to take a divine intervention. And Lord Shiva, who kind of started this whole mess, now had to finish it with a miracle.
So, what does Shiva do? He gestures to the dry ground and gives Kundodhara a really simple command, Vai, which means place it. Kundodhara does what he's told. He places his hand, his kai, down on the earth. And the very second he does, water just gushes out from that exact spot.
Kundodhara drinks and drinks from this new magical spring. And finally, his incredible thirst is satisfied. The crisis is over. Balance is restored.
And this is the best part. The river that was born in that moment got its name from the very act that created it. From the command Vai, to place, and Kai, the hand. Put them together and you get Vaigai, the river born from the spot where the hand was placed. How cool is that?
It's just such a powerful story, showing how one divine act can create something as life-giving as a river. It really makes you think, doesn't it? What other myths and legends do you know that try to explain the world around us? The mountains, the oceans? These aren't just old tales. They're like cultural rivers themselves, flowing through time and connecting us to our world.